Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Tape Pro. Controversial indeed. So anyway, let's get this open. I've already listened to this. We burned it in. We've tried everything we can. I like that they include these product catalogs. Was this the one? Yeah. The H27, that looks interesting. Should I try to review that? I really like the look of that. Knowles and nanocarbonate dynamic driver. That sounds interesting. I like that. So anyway, with this you get the, I don't know if you can see that, the there's like these little tuning filters, and then there's this little tool that looks like a screwdriver. And you get these tips, and there's also a cleaner in here as well. Warranty information. The stereotypical case from them, which I find a little on the small side, especially with the thicker cables. Speaking of cables, the cable on this, honestly, it's almost worth the price for the cable. There you see the cleaner, and you also get this nice, I can actually get it out of there, this nice L-shaped adapter, because it comes with a 2.5 millimeter balanced. So you pop that in here and you have a 3.5. Would have liked to see a 4 with it as well. So anyway, looking at the units themselves, they are very nice looking. It's a very nice looking unit. Beautiful cable. I'm not going to unravel it, but beautiful cable. I don't like 2.5 at all. It's my least favorite connector, but overall these are really decent. And they have a big wide nozzle, and there's a filter that you can change, obviously, if it gets ruined or dirty or something. Sharp edges, so comfort-wise, not maybe the greatest choice for everybody, but I found them okay. I could feel the little edges poking me a little bit, and I can see how that could be uncomfortable, especially for smaller ears. I think that the design looks nice, but I would have liked to see it a little bit more rounded, and maybe those could have been squarer and protruding out so they didn't touch any part of your ear. Isolation was average with these. As with the soundstage is kind of average. One notable theme with these was there was congestion right across the frequencies. There's a lot of congestion with these. Good points is the bass. It has this very rich, well-controlled bass. It's deep. There's a mid-bass just slams and has speed and then just goes away. And the treble is non-offensive. It is tuned where it gets a little spiky, but then it just goes right away. I don't find it really bad. I think somewhere in the point between the lower treble and the upper mids, there's a lot of hotness there. Especially with the way I have it tuned with the more bass thing there. I think that the bass is fine. I think that the mids themselves are the weakest point of this. And honestly, thinking of musics, and the mids also are like right in your face. They're like forward to the next degree. So there is some shoutiness, there is some spikes there, and some harshness in the mid-range. But I think that this was made, maybe not for the American market, maybe other music it fits well. I did find that electronic music, particularly dubstep and certain things of EDM and other musics like that, I found worked extremely well with this. I think it sounded good for that. I think it sounded good for reggae as well. It worked. And a few other types of music. Would you listen to this for rock? Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't think so. I think that's they originally marketed this toward rock, and I don't think it goes well with rock music at all. Maybe some pop and hip-hop, it might actually work. But overall, I think electronic music, it sounded decent. It sounded really, really good. I found it kind of honestly pleasant with that type of music. Female vocals obviously were extended too much, and I wouldn't recommend any electronic music that has a female singer or anything like that. But if it's just music, I think it went well with it. Trance, there's different genres of music like that. I think it works good for that. That said, with the price tag, I don't think it would be worth it for a lot of people. There are probably some people out there that are going to like these because they do have some certain charm to them. Maybe more so than even the original, which had some followers and a lot of haters. But I'm glad I got to listen to these. Honestly, they're not going to end up in my favorites, but they weren't as bad as the ratings. I mean, I'm looking at like 2 ratings and 1 star, 2 star, and the pros, the cable, the look, a con, the sound. One person put the only thing that it does right is it makes sound. So yeah, there's a lot of harshness over this, and there's some harshness listening to these, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So that said, I would say there are a few people out there that would absolutely love these. I don't hate these. There's a lot of other choices that I would put in my ears before this. And like I said, the comfort, you can feel like the little sharp things of the edges and that. So this was an interesting design. It's part of history, and that's where it will remain in my collection, I think, because it is a part of history and a unique. These cases are really too small for these things, to be quite honest. They're really too small for anything with a decent cable to it. So anyway, that is the LetShuoer Tape Pro, and I'm going to go over the specs in just 2 seconds, as soon as I get all the stuff back. Okay. There you can see a graph, which looks very different from the graphs that I saw. So I don't know if they did something wrong, or the people who graphed did something wrong, or had defective pairs, or what. Here's your specs, 16 ohms. It is relatively easy to drive on paper. 105 decibels of sensitivity, 20 to 30K. Made out of aluminum. 10 millimeter dynamic and an electrostatic driver. The cable is a wonderful cable, 368 strain silver-plated monocrystalline copper. If it wasn't 2.5, I'd probably use it on other things. And another noted fact about these is they like power. Even though they're easy to drive on paper, they like power. You put more power into them, you're going to get better sound out of them, believe it or not. So I found these good in general. In general, they weren't as bad as people said. I think that the mids have some, spiky and spiciness to them. I think that the treble drops off way too quickly. I still think they have decent amount of details, average soundstage. They do have some congestion right across the board. From the bass down to the, up to the treble, there's congestion. The soundstage has congestion. It does have a decent, kind of precision pinpointing, but I think that's just maybe average soundstage, average imaging, and a little congestion, but some really nice bass, and overall not as bad as people said. I wouldn't recommend them, but they're not as bad as people said. Thank you so much for watching. Up next, the D13.